Good morning everyone. My name is Swastika Singh Chande and I am from Department of Medical Laboratory Technology, Faculty of Paramedical Sciences. So our today's topic is laboratory diagnosis of parasites. Before starting with our topic, I would like to tell you about what is parasitology basically. Parasitology is the branch of medicine or a branch of biology which concern with the phenomena of the dependence of one living organism or another. So it is a phenomena, or we can say it is a concern with the phenomena of dependence of one living organism to the another one. So now let's move about what is the classification of parasite. So basically the classification of parasite is divided into two parts. Number one is protozoology and number two is helminthology. In protozoology we study about the protozoa which are being studied under the parasitology, and in helminthology we studied about the helminthes, species helminthes. Now let's talk about the clinical or lab diagnosis of parasites. So let's start with this. Number one is microscopy, number two is culture, number three is serological test, number four is skin test, number five is molecular test, number six is animal inoculation, number 7 is xenodiagnosis, number 8 is imaging, and number 9 is helminthology. So this is the in short detail of the lab diagnosis or clinical diagnosis of the parasite. So let's talk about number 1, microscopy. So what is microscopy? In microscopy we only study the clinical or we can say we only study the microscopic presentation of the parasites. For this we have to done with stool sample, we have to take stool sample, blood sample, urine sample, sputum sample, CSF, that means cerebrospinal fluid, tissue aspirates and genital specimens. So these are taken for microscopical examination. Now let's talk about stool examination. In stool examination it is done for, especially it is done for Giardia, Entamoeba histolytica and Ascaris etc. For blood we used to do it for malarial parasites. For urine it is used for tropozoites of Trichomonas vaginalis and microfilaria. Now for urine sample, as I said already said you about tropozoites of Trichomonas vaginalis because it causes a sexually transmitted disease. For sputum sample we can be taken this sample is being taken for Paramecium washermani or P. washermani and Ascaris lumbricoides. For CSF, that means cerebrospinal fluid, we take specimens like Nalgeria fowleri. It is this CSF is being taken for Nalgeria fowleri etc. Now let's talk about the tissue and aspirates. For tissue and aspirates we use the larva of Trachinella etc. or we can say the larva of Cystosoma hematobium. Now for genital specimens we usually take the tropozoites of Trichomonas vaginalis. So it also causes the sexually transmitted disease. Now let's talk about the culture. Our second point is culture. In culture we usually do polyxanthic and xanthic media. It is done for many of the parasites. For serological test we usually do antigen and antibody reaction. So two types of tests are being done for serological test. Number one is antigen and number two is antibody. For antigen test we usually do many tests. For antibody we usually do immunofluorescent test or etc. It is or ELISA basically. For skin test we use the delayed type hypersensitivity for the many of the parasites. Now for molecular diagnosis we usually use DNA probe and polymerase chain reaction. So these are basically depend upon the molecular diagnosis. For animal inoculation we usually do Toxoplasma gondii and Trypanosoma and these samples are being taken from the blood of the specimens. So now let's talk about the xenodiagnosis. Our seventh point, xenodiagnosis, we talk about the Chagas disease which is being caused by the T. cruzi. Now let's move on to imaging. In imaging we usually do X-ray, MRI, CT scan and most of the time USG also. This can be done for many of the parasites. In helminthology, it is basically done for anemic persons, or in case of anemia, or we can say hematology is basically done for parasites like malarial parasites, and many of the parasites are also being studied under this. So, this was in short about the lab diagnosis of parasite. Let us recall all this. Basically, parasitology is the branch of medicine, or we can say it is a branch of a biology which concerned with the phenomena of dependence of one living organism. Okay. Now, let us talk about the classification. Quick review, we are taking about quick review. It's protozoology, it is divided into two parts, protozoology and helminthology. Now, let us talk about the clinical and lab diagnosis of parasite. It includes microscopy, which can be further divided into many parts, like 7 parts. Now, let us talk about culture. Culture is done only on 2 media, as I already tell you about that. Number 3 is serological test. It can be divided into further more activities. Now, number 4 is skin test, number 5 is molecular test, number 6 is animal inoculation, number 7 is xenodiagnosis, number 8 is imaging, and number 9 is hematology. So, in microscopy, I tell you about stool examination, blood examination, urine examination, sputum examination, cerebrospinal fluid examination, tissue and aspirate examination, and genital specimen examinations. For culture media, we use xanthic and polyxanthic medium. For serological test, antigen and antibody test are being done. For antigen test, many of the it is especially done for the malarial parasite, and for antibody we use basically ELISA. Now, skin test, it is being used for delayed type hypersensitivity, which is also called as Monte's test. Now, for molecular diagnosis, we use DNA probe and PCR. Now, for animal inoculation, Toxoplasma gondii and Trypanosoma from blood specimens. So, from blood specimens, we usually take blood specimen of the host, and in this we used to inoculate in the animal. The species of Toxoplasma gondii and Trypanosoma are being further seen. Now, for xenodiagnosis, Chagas disease, it is caused by Trichrozae. Now, for imaging, we use X-rays, MRIs, CT scan and USG. Now, for hematological processes, as I tell you about the anemic peoples, and it is usually done for the parasites of malaria. So, this was in short about the lab diagnosis of parasite. Thank you.